Hey guys, it is me, Kelly Clarkson.
Okay, I'm Britney Spears.
Today is the Toot and Boot segment where we review brand new cards that are being released and we give them a toot if they're good, boot if they're bad. And today we have our lucky guest, Britney Spears, featuring us today. So it's just great.
I know, hit me baby one more time.
Right. And the two cards we're going to be discussing today are Star Venom Dragon, Fusion Dragon, and the other one is Lullaby of Obedience. So we're going to go into both of these cards and we're going to give a reason to toot and a reasons to boot the cards. Lullaby of Obedience. I don't know if that's lullaby, but I'm going to call it lullaby anyway.
Lullaby? I'm pretty sure it's lullaby.
Lullaby of Obedience.
Lullaby of Obedience?
Alright, and I'm going to say it. This card is a normal spell card and its effect is this. Pay 2,000 life points, then declare one monster name. Your opponent looks through their deck, and if they have the declared card, they reveal and apply one of these effects. They add that card to your hand. They special summon that monster in attack position, ignoring its summoning conditions.
To your field.
To your field.
Okay.
The reasons to boot it is because you cannot main deck this. Fact. Because you'll never know what your opponent's going to be playing. Let's just say you're facing me. I'm using Constellars. Obviously, if you know the Constellar Archetype, you know what to call. But going into any deck, you can't automatically say,
their effects are not really going to benefit anyone else but themselves.
Yeah. But the real quality about it that really hurts and hinders the opponent is that if you're playing this, you have to play it in a way that you know will hurt your opponent. I'm trying to think of other kinds of things. Like, let's just say if you're facing against PK Fire, maybe you're going to want to take out some of that Speed Word engine so you don't have to deal with it later. But I'm trying to think of ways that it could benefit. But yet again, the best that I could say is it's a good side decking card, but I can't give it, like, praise for being a main deck card. That's why
then how do you feel about the cost? 2,000 life points. You think that's understandable for
I think it's understandable.
For the effects, right?
Yeah, because most of the time, for a spell card to literally kind of like give you a plus, because technically in the end, if you play this and you get a monster out of this on your field,
you better utilize that shit.
I mean, I like it for the quality of special summoning a card.
I mean, it's good if you like...
I don't really care that much. Right when I saw ignoring its summoning conditions, I'd be like, this is a fucking fucked up card to use against a Toon player. You fucking do this and like, I call Toon fucking Ancient Gear Golem. I'd be like, damn.
And you can also have the choice
to can't you use this like on a fucking god card? Can you just say, I call Obelisk the Tormentor?
Well, who's playing that?
Imagine using this card on an Exodia player. I call Exodia's left arm. I'm like, imagine like I call the left leg of the Forbidden.
Then they lose. Well, if you know they're using Exodia, and then you just say, okay, let me just.
I'm gonna toot this card just for being able to take out Exodia. But in all honesty, this card is an amazing side deck card because if you know what your opponent has and you know what they're relying on, and if you know how to fuck your opponent up, this is a great side deck card to use. I'll toot it for a side deck use.
I like the card art.
I want to see this card and Solemn Strike like point at each other because you have two old guys just like
two pissed off old men.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I don't know. I just feel like I don't see myself even playing it. But you know what I don't like? I don't like taking your opponent's stuff. Like Snatch Steal is annoying. 101 Arc is annoying.
I love both those cards.
Who else steals your cards?
Gradles.
And yeah, Gradles. Oh my fucking god, they were annoying.
All three of those things.
Cyber Dragon Infinity. Like, it's not even that, like, because I don't hate the card. I just don't. I don't like it. Like, I just feel like it's like, oh,
so you're gonna give it a boot?
Well, I can't boot it for personal reasons.
Well, would you boot it for its actual effect overall? Like, personally,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't like it as a main deck. I would never main deck it.
Well, I don't think anyone should main deck it because you never know. And it's a waste of a card. But to side deck it, yeah, so I guess I'll toot it, but I don't like it. Dragon. That's starving. It's a starve, right?
Oh, the Star Venom Fusion Dragon. Fuck this card.
Starve? Isn't it starve? We'll go up. If this card is fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to the attack of one face-up special summoned monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can target one level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls. Until the end of this turn, this card's name becomes that monster's and replaces this effect with that monster's original effect. If this fusion summoned card is destroyed, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls.
The thing I'm on the fence about it is that Why did it have to use fucking 9 token fucking dark monsters on the fucking field? Why can't I use materials from my hand? Why the fuck can't I play 2 Fires of Doomsday? Why can't I play 1 Fires of Doomsday, get 2 tokens, and then use this? But, you see, you want to know what it is? I see a lot of restrictions in it.
Well, I mean, so it gains attack of a special summon monster on your opponent's side of the field until the end of the turn. That's like the least bit that you have to worry about.
I'm going to say this now, and people are going to be like, what? I'm booting it. I'm booting it. I don't like it. But before you like say, oh my god, this card's amazing. How could you? But you see, the card is good. The card's good. I will give it props, but it's the build up to it. Like I said,
it's not even that good.
But you know what it is?
I don't understand. Like, don't you think like when you see it, you're gonna prepare for it? Like, so before you kill it, aren't you gonna say to yourself like,
you see, you want to know what it is? I'm judging this card as a card that you have to kind of like have your deck kind of focused around it, because you have to have a deck full of dark monsters. You have to have just poly or fusion ways in your deck built in already. And the deck, it's not like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this card be used against me prior, and the card's good. The card's good. If you get it on the field, he's an alright card. But, yet again, he's very situational. Because, like, his effect states, oh, you know what this card is? This card relies on your opponent. I don't like playing any card that relies on my opponent to do something. Because a good example, it's like, oh, if your opponent has a special summon monster on the field, you gain that one if I don't have a special summon monster.
That's, well, that's what I was saying.
And then it's like the other effect, like, oh, I could copy another card on the field. What happens if I don't have a good card on the field to copy?
5 or above. I'm probably gonna boot it too, but and it hurts me to boot it because it's such a pretty card.
I'm booting it because I'm upset that it relies too much on the opponent. Like a good example, I was thinking about this. This card reminds me a lot of Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, because Elemental Hero Absolute Zero gains attack points for every water monster on the field, except himself. And when he's destroyed, he destroys all monsters you're on the field your opponent controls. But the problem is you see something like Absolute Zero nowadays is like obsolete. You're not going to focus a deck on Absolute Zero. Yes. I know there are some people out there that would, but he's just obsolete.
You know who we're talking about.
You see, something like Absolute Zero is like a prime example comparing it to this card, because Absolute Zero is like non-existent now.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
It's hipster.
Nobody cares about fucking Absolute Zero. Everyone fucking cares about Dark Law. Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, Dark Law.
And it's the same thing with this. It's like, if I'm gonna you know what it is? This card reminds me a lot of also like Breezel. Breezel reminds me like of this card because it's a card that was just great generic card, and people were trying to fit him into decks. And I'm not gonna lie, Breezel's still very good thanks to cards.
I like Beals.
Beals. I like to call him Breezel.
Just in case if no one knew who he was talking about.
Beals is good because it's like you could use him with Malicious and Plague Spreader and like, oh look, I could do that. But him, he relies too much on the opponent. I don't like that.
Beals is a little bit. I think Beals is easier to get on the field.
He is easier and he is better. That's why Beals would get a toot, and this card will get a boot.
I'm gonna boot it, and
This was the first time I think I've ever had you in the toot and boot segment, and you've literally almost booted both cards. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like it if you haven't already. 800 likes and you will see the Toot and Boot next Sunday. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. The Underground channel uploads every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's something else. Oh, and comment below how you feel. Do you want to toot these cards, boot these cards? If you want to disagree with me, leave it in the comment section below.
And if you're
I always read the comments. And if I personally enjoy your comment, I will like your comment, because I've been doing that. I do that all the time. If I like your comment, I will like your comment.
Get witty with it.
I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.
Bye.